My wife doesn't respect me and humiliates me in front of my friends. Now she can't believe that I've reached the tipping point in our marriage and called the lawyers. My wife and I have been together for almost 20 years, and our bedroom has been on a slow but gradual decline for the last 15 years. We sat down and had the talk a few months ago, where we hashed out the details of trying to rekindle the spark we once had. One of the main things we both agreed upon was the need for date nights as well as other things. Things seem to improve, albeit only marginally. Again, I'm the one initiating things, and 90% of the time I get shot down. The usual excuses followed, i.e. too tired, not in the mood, the child is awake, he's 18 years old, not feeling very well. And my personal favorite, we can't, as you've got to be up for work early in the morning. Anyhow, we persisted with the date nights. Out of 9 that I organized over the last 2 months, my wife canceled 7 of them, often without notice. Some were even planned weeks in advance, when she'd breeze in after her work shift and announce she was going out with her friends. When I mentioned the date night we'd had planned, she claimed she'd simply forgotten, despite it being marked on the calendar on the fridge. Again, her idea. So on to this weekend. I've spent the last 2 weeks setting up a date night, so picture this: a whole weekend away, a suite in a 5-star hotel, dinner at a fancy Michelin star restaurant, tickets to the theater, even shopping for some fancy clothes. So I pick her up after work. I've packed some casual clothes for us both, toiletries, etc. I tell her I've got a surprise plan for her, and she immediately starts protesting, saying she has things to do. I've told her that everything had been taken off and she didn't have to worry. She raised the issue of clothing, but I informed her that I'd got it covered. She seemed to calm down at this point, and off we set, although the atmosphere in the car was cold, to say the least. Anyway, a few hours later we arrive at the hotel and check in. She seems to cheer up when she sees the suite we have. Saturday we headed out shopping ahead of our planned evening. Several hours later we return to the hotel to get ready for dinner. After a while she emerges from the bathroom. I can't put into words how amazing she looked, wearing a dark blue evening gown, matching lingerie, 4-inch heels, jewelry, hair, and makeup done perfectly. Let's just say my jaw was on the floor. When she saw me staring, she smiled at me and gave me a twirl, and she looked as stunning as the day we tied the knot. So the dinner went as well as it could, although there was very little conversation between us. We hailed a taxi and headed out to the theater. At least I got a thanks for this part. I'd also arranged for a pair of mutual friends to join us at the theater. So we took our seats and enjoyed the show. Just as the intermission started, I reached over and placed my hand over hers to ask her if she liked the show so far. To my surprise, she snatches her hand away from mine like she'd just been bitten by a poisonous snake. She looked me square in the eyes and proceeded to tell me that whatever I was thinking was going to happen tonight.